Well, I'm sorry. Hi. You don't have to talk. How's your mom? Okay. Unless you want. That's right, to take the candle itself. Sometimes we wax it to the bottom. Very high tech.
Recording in progress.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. It's so good to see your faces. And it would be very nice if we could start our service by wishing a Shabbat Shalom to our neighbor. So please turn to your neighbor, and you can turn to the other side as well. Now that we all know each other, we can move on. Page 10, we're going to begin our service tonight with a singing of Hine Ma Tov, As we've mentioned in the past, Hine Ma Tov translates as to how good and how pleasant it is that brothers and sisters dwell together. And as is the case with our wonderful congregation, it is a blessing that we're all here together. So let's sing together with Angela and Dwight, Hine Ma Tov, top of page 10. Together.
Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Shevet achim gam yachad, hine ma tovu manayim. Shevet achim gam yachad.
Let's turn to page 7. We'll read together. Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished. Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat abide. Help me to withdraw for a while from the flight of time, contain the retreat of the hours and days from the grasp of frantic life. Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into a quiet world this day. On this day, Shabbat abide. It's my honor to call up Wendy and Beverly to light our candles and lead us in the blessings. We're on page 2.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushonu b'mitzvosav v'tzivonu ahadlek ner shel Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Thank you. And as we light the Shabbat candles, we also notice the candle that's slightly taller in the middle, representing those in bondage and the hostages in Gaza. May they be lighting their own Shabbat candles very soon. We're going to continue a psalm, a song for Shabbat on page 22, bottom of the page. Page 22, bottom of the page. A psalm, a song for Shabbat. It is good to praise Adonai, to sing hymns to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night, with a 10-stringed harp, with voice and lyre together. You have gladdened me by your deeds, Adonai. I shout for joy at your handiwork. How great are your works, Adonai, how very subtle your designs. A brute cannot know, a fool cannot understand this. Together, the righteous bloom like a date palm. They thrive like a cedar in Lebanon, planted in the house of Adonai. They flourish in the courts of our God. In old age, they still produce fruit. They are full of sap and freshness, attesting that Adonai is upright, my rock, in whom there is no wrong. We turn to page 26. Please join us in the responses to the Chatzi Kaddish. Yitkadav, Yitkadash, Shemei Rabbah, V'yalma divrach chirutei, v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon, u'v'chayedecho beit Yisrael, Bagala, Bagala, Uvizman Kariv, Vimeru, Amen. Yeshme Rabba Mevorach, Le'alam Yomaya, Yitparak, Yitparak, Vishtabak, Vipar, Vitroman, Vitnase, Vithadar, Vithale, Vithalal, Shemeda Kudisha, Brichu, Leila Mincho Berchata, Vishirata, Tushbechata, Venechemata, Damiran Bialma, Vimeru, Amen. We exalt God's name. We turn back to page 20, where we welcome the Sabbath bride with L'chadodi. On the last stanza, I'll motion for everyone to rise, as is our custom, and we'll face the front of our sanctuary to welcome the Sabbath bride. Top of page 20 together, L'chadodi.
Lecha dodi likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Dodi likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, hishmianu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shemo tiferet v'litila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mekor habracha. Merosh mikedem nesucha, sof maaseh b'maksheva techila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Rise and face the front of our sanctuary.
Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'v'tzola, toch emunei am segula, boi chala, boi chala. Lecha dodi Shabbat nekabela.
Let's remain standing. On page 28, we're going to open the ark, the call to worship, Baruch Hu, page 28.
Baruch Hu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach leolam vaed.
You may be seated. Please turn to page 31. Let's read together in the middle of the page. This is an hour of change. Within it, we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it, we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, Amariv Aravim. And before we sing Ahavat Olam on page 32, just want to make sure everyone is having a cathartic experience. It's time during Shabbat to breathe. So if you haven't taken a breath in a few minutes, please breathe now. And just remember that this should be restful. This should build community. And looking out at our sanctuary, I do see that for some of you, this is very meaningful being a temple tonight. So we're going to continue singing about love, love we have for God, love we have for the world. Ahavat Olam, page 32. We'll sing together with Angela.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbenu, uvkumenu nasiach behukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, uv'mitzvotecha leolam vaed, ki hem chayenu, ve'orek yameinu, uvahem negei yomam v'layla, negei yomam v'layla. Ve'ahavatcha al tasir mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Ohev amo Yisrael.
Let's read on page 33 responsively in the middle of the page. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. Then this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form together. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev Amo Israel. We ask you, if able, to please rise on page 34, the treasured words of the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
You may be seated. We continue chanting the V'ahavta together at the top of page 36. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'elech asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha vishinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lektecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam liot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkiru vasitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher otzetechem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem lelohim ani Adonai Elohechem. And let's read on 37 a beautiful translation of those words. 37 together. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work. Whether you are tired or you are rested, let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai your God. We turn to Micha Mocha on page 40. As we do, we sing this song of redemption, of freedom, and I want everyone to rock tonight. So let's see everybody moving a little bit and enjoying Micha Mocha together. Let's all sing as one. Page 40.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש. נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה. מלכותך ראו בניך כאיים לפני משה ומרים, זה אלי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך, אדוני ימלוך, לעולם ועד.
Before we move on to our next reading, let's all take a moment and appreciate our freedom and to think to ourselves how lucky we are to be free. We continue on page 43, Let There Be Love at the top of the page. Let's read together. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts. Let me lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will together. Baruch atah Adonai, apurei sukkot shalom, aleinu v'al kol amo, Israel v'al Yerushalayim. It is love and that sukkot shalom, that shelter of peace, that binds us all together. And we'll sing about that love on page 42. Let's join Angela and Dwight with Hashki Venu, top of the page.
Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Ushmor tzeteinu Shalom, me'ata v'ad olam.
Everyone join us.
Hashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Hashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu.
And as we're getting very close to the high holidays, I can't believe it, but we're there. Just a few weeks, a little less than a month. We are going to be reading on page 45 something that I thought was very, very special to read tonight. As we've entered the month of Elul, the top of the page, let's read together to this endearing passage. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. Very true. Friends, if we're able, we now turn our thoughts to our ancestors on page 46 with our tefillah. We're going to open the ark, so if you are able, please rise and join us. Page 46. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agitehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Page 48. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, El HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei HaKol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi'u L'Lifnei Bneihem, Leman Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Mavi, Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Avraham, Yitzchak Sarah. Page 50. Atah Gibor L'Olam Adonai, L'Chayei HaKol Atah Rav Yoshia, Morid Atal, Mechachei HaChaim L'Chesed, Mechayei tzmiat Yeshua, v'ne'emanata l'chayot. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh Ahad. 52. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kedoshim kol yom yalu v'asela. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. You may be seated. We turn to page 54. Bottom of the page, very bottom of the page in the English, page 54. Our God and God of our ancestors, be pleased with our rest. Sanctify us with your mitzvot and grant us a share in your Torah. Satisfy us with your goodness and gladden us with your salvation. Purify our hearts to serve you in truth, in your gracious love. Adonai our God, grant as our heritage your holy Shabbat, that Israel who sanctifies your name may rest on it. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Page 57. We're going to read middle of the page. You are with us. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, and our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levacha v'yira na'avod. Page 59. It's very top of the page together. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wander beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ucha na'eh lehodot. Friends, we'll take a few moments of silent prayer, and we'll join together with the Song of Peace on 140. We're on the top of page 140. Sim shalom tova uvracha. Sim shalom tova. Shalom,
Sim shalom,
tova uvracha. Sim shalom, tova uvracha. Chen v'chesed, בחסד ורחמים, חן וחסד, חן וחסד ורחמים, ורחמים, שים שלום, טובה וברכה, שים שלום, טובה וברכה. Friends, we sing for peace, and we segue to singing for healing. On page 253, may the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill. Bishop Emeritus Curtis Guillory, Robert Kraft, Lawson Helms, Eleanor Crum, Don Berger, Joel Berger, Charmaine Berry, David Fertitta, Mike Mayfield, Marilyn Manson Hayes, Allison Louise Dodson, Pamela Rodriguez, Patsy Spivey, any of the California fire victims healing, the hostages in Gaza, Pam Williams, Father Michael Palvez, the families of Yaron Lachinsky and Sarah Milgram, Noel Husband Turner, Margaret Whipke, Moshe HaKohen Ben Cyril Henya, the victims' families and first responders and communities impacted by the Central Texas floods, Baby Chaya Adira Strange, Sue Ann Lubin, Helene Gonzalez, and Joseph Hebert. We're also going to go around the sanctuary. If anyone is in need of healing, please feel free to say his or her name as we come to you. Start in the front. Anybody else in the middle? This side? Anybody in the balcony? George Simon. Together we sing as a community, middle of page 253, for their swift healing, Mishabera.
Mishaberach avotenu makor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu makor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit, and let us say, Amen. Friends, 12 Jews are on a jury. They're deliberating and deliberating. Finally, when the judge asks for the verdict, they respond, Your Honor, we've talked it over and we've decided not to get involved. This week's reading, Shoftim, found in Deuteronomy chapter 16, means judges and addresses fundamental issues pertaining to the leadership of the Jewish people. It begins with a discussion regarding judges and later gives rules pertaining to kings, prophets, and the Kohanim, the priests. Many commandments are introduced into this week's reading, including appointing judges, the obligation to follow rabbinic law, the words of the prophets, the obligation of a king, the punishment for perjury. It's all in there, the laws of war, and the procedure for dealing with unsolved murders. Yes, that's in the Torah as well. As is the case quite often, the lessons we learn from our Parsha resonate with our contemporary society, especially as we find ourselves in, let's face it, such a litigious era. And having been focused on Moses and his leadership during the Exodus these past few weeks, we continue to hope, although it may be a bit unrealistic and utopian, that Moses' ethical leadership style and virtues of integrity, fairness, and commitment to protecting the vulnerable would be a universal trait in our judges and our legal systems and our mediators. One passage from this week's Torah portion is perhaps also one of the most well-known. I know most of you have probably heard this. Tzedek, tzedek, tirdof. Justice, justice, you shall pursue. In fact, this was the passage that the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg had framed and displayed in her Supreme Court office. What can we derive from the fact that the word justice is repeated twice in the verse? Jewish tradition teaches us there are no unnecessary words in the Torah. None. If a word appears twice in terms of justice, there is a reason. The phrase, tzedek, tzedek, tirdof, justice, justice, you shall pursue, urges people to seek justice with the doubling of the word tzedek, making it not a suggestion, but an imperative. The phrase is also repeated twice to make sure that judges be careful and deliberate in their judgment, to convey that the pursuit of justice is everyone's responsibility, and to teach that when two justified claims conflict, a compromise is the just solution. And as Jews, we are commanded to strive to establish such a society with equal balance, equal measures, rights, and protections. It's our obligation not only as Jews, but as citizens of the world. The phrase appears in the context of laws concerning the justice system, and some say it is one of the most powerful verses in all of Jewish text. It is considered a battle cry for Jews around the globe to do social work and social justice, and as part of their sense of purpose and responsibility as Jews. Thinking back to the humorous tale I began with, the Jewish jury not wanting to get involved. As in most humor, there's some truth. Rabbi Joseph Soloveitchik spoke to the tension between two trains of thought when it comes to Jewish collective consciousness. On one hand, there are Jews that feel because of our people having to deal with continuous persecution and upheaval throughout the long history of our people, a skepticism of the global legal system is warranted. They believe that keeping to ourselves is a close-knit community, and that has been and is the imperative for self-defense and self-preservation. We were talking about this in Torah study, and very interesting people's thoughts on this. On the other side of the coin, there are Jews across the globe who feel that we should use our sphere of influence in our community to embrace those around us, guided by the Jewish ethics and values that we hold dear. So what do you think? Rabbi Soloveitchik goes on to say that we need both, as I'm sure many of you feel in our congregation. The Jewish community cannot realize its fullest potential to become a people of the covenant, committed to the ethical principles of righteousness and justice, if it remains in its tribal camp, consumed by its need to defend itself from every threat, real and imagined. We should protect ourselves, but we can't stay in a bubble. And this dates all the way back to Abraham, who became the father of the Jewish people when he heeded God's call to adopt a sacred purpose, spreading righteousness and justice in the world way back in Genesis. It's important to remember the Jewish people would not be merely a people apart, a separate ethnic and political unit. Instead, they would be a people bound to a higher calling. We call that our yoke of responsibility. Friends, this isn't an easy task. It definitely isn't, especially in today's world. Anti-Semitism is as virulent as ever, and it might make us want to focus on protecting and taking care of our own. In fact, the current global atmosphere makes working towards justice for others, let's face it, more difficult than ever. But our sages say that righteousness is a virtue that comes from within, reflecting integrity, morality, honesty, compassion, and humility. At times when tzedek or justice seems beyond reach, the Torah compels us to move beyond our comfort zones and choose to be a tzaddik. Now that we've entered the month of Elul, a time of preparation for the high holidays, may we all seek new ways to integrate our aspirations for personal growth with our obligations to our people, our temple, our community, and the world. Shabbat Shalom. And I have the honor of calling up Laura to do our announcements. These are going to be wonderful announcements tonight, she told me.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We have as our hostesses and hosts, Beverly Hickman and Wendy and Joe Nordgren. And thank you also for lighting the candles, doing the candle blessing. Birthdays, we have Caleb Fontenot's birthday on the 4th. I want to thank Angela and Dwight for the music and also for the rabbi harmonizing with Angela. It's always beautiful. Lynn, thank you for tech support for Zoom. We have Torah study tomorrow in person and on Zoom at 9 o'clock. Next Friday, we have Rabbi Nelson again in person and on Zoom. And then on Saturday the 6th at 9 o'clock, not 9:45. That was an error because of the Kol Israel Chapel. Anyways, shredding day is September 9th, and you can start bringing your shredding between Friday the 5th and Tuesday the 9th here to the admin building. The Havdalah has been moved for tomorrow night to sometime in November, and the details will be forthcoming in a later date. I think that's all I have. Thank you, and Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Laura. Friends, we're going to continue in our prayer books on page 259. We ask you, if able, to rise as the ark is opened, the prayer for the state of Israel, page 259.
Avinu, Avinu, Shebashamayim, Tzur Yisrael Go'alo. Avinu, Avinu, Shebashamayim, Tzur Yisrael Go'alo.
Let's read in the English bottom of the page. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. To remain standing, page 282. Let's join together, middle of the page, for Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tei kedula liotzer breshit, v'lo asanu kigoye haratzot, v'lo samadu kimishketot hadama, v'lo samchalchenu kahem, v'gor aleinu v'kol hamonam,
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
We remain standing. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of life, of love and loss and death. We observe the period of Shloshim, 30 days since their passing, for Al Dugan. We mark the yahrzeits of Celia Friedman, J.P. Friedman, Ray G. Horowitz, J.W. Rogers, Nathan Shapiro, Hessie Solomon, Sadie Katz, Paul Weinman, Anna Helig Weiser, Joseph G. Weiser, Sam Froman, Max Lipoff, Rabbi Herbert Ruttman, Minnie Haber, Alexander Safir, William Horowitz, Carrie Richard Mothner, Annie Wyde, Pearl Ladner Elster, Seymour Lawrence, Catherine Bruckner, David Neal. And we remember the Israelis, including members of the IDF, who have died since October 7th, 2023, as well as the innocents of Gaza. And as we go around the sanctuary, if we're remembering anyone else this evening, please say his or her name out loud. We join together. The treasured words of the Mourner's Kaddish are on page 294 as a community. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalmad divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'v'yamechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, b'galav v'zman kari v'imru amen, Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'elam le'omaya. Yiparak v'yishtabak v'yipa'ar v'yitraman v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yithale v'yithalal, Shemei de Kudusha Brechu, Leila min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiran bi'alma v'imru omen, Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel. Let us say amen. Friends, thanks for lending your beautiful voices to our service tonight. The music was even sweeter than it usually is. Thank you for singing out loud. We're going to conclude on page 321 with the singing of Adonalam. We'll sing together page 321.
Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Leit Naso B'chepso Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei Kichlot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora Vehu בצורכם לי בצרה, והוא ניסי ומנוס לי, מנת כוסי ביום אקרא. בידו אפקיד רוחי, בעת ישן בעירה, ועם רוחי יביאתי, אדוני